Welcome everybody, this is in Blender. In this tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to make this character for your animations. And I'm just going to be showing you the whole creative process from modeling, shading, and rigging, and even weight painting. So keep up. So without further ado, let's start the tutorial. So as any other Blender users, when it starts his Blender file, we are just going to select everything using A and delete. And that reminds me to, open screencast key so I can show you what is happening. Click everything, check it out, works. So Shift A to add a plane, and I'm just going to scale axis. So we have the x-axis, safe and sound, I guess. I'm just going to full screen this, to, not get interrupted, and extrude it in the z-axis. And cool. This looks like a juice box, We just want the overall shape of it so we can make some animation ready characters for our, short animation or something. So I'm just going to add an edge loop here. Select this to mirror modifier. Select this to and add a mirror modifier so we don't have to, do the same thing for the both sides. So I'm just going to add a mirror modifier around here. Go to 1, and we have this. So I'm just going to select this part and add some kind of details to our character. So I'm just going to rotate it like this, scale it down a little bit more, scale it down, extrude it, and G, or G, move it like this, scale it down. I think this is good enough. Just going to bevel this part. Just going to go ahead, Control and X in this direction. So now we have this, and it looks scrappy. So we want some finer edges. This part, these edges, 90-degree edges in the real life, they don't exist. So we want something to look real somewhat. Even though we are going to for the cartoony look, we want something that looks like a juice box. So I'm just going to Control R and add more geometry around the edges so we have some nicer edges. So we want this kind of edges. And don't worry about it being blocky or something. We will add a smooth shading and add those fancy stuff to make it look good. So I'm just going to add another one. Right click, shade smooth. Right click, shade smooth. It looks good already. So I'm just going to fix this part. Think we can do better than this. So I'm just going to add another edge loop around here and do this here. So now we are done with the modeling. So it looks scrappy, don't worry. We are just going to be adding some more things into it. So I'm just going to click this two edges, Shift S, cursor to select it. So we have this cursor nice in here. So I'm just going to add Shift A, circle, and make this 60. So we have in low poly, somewhat low poly, G, move it in the x-axis. I want it in this side, so you can even move it like this or this. I'm just going to move it like this and add an extrusion and scale it, Shift Z, so we don't have we are not affecting the Z axis. Shift Z, see, it's only scaling down and up from the top axis. From the, basically it's like scaling from the top axis. I'm just going to Control R here, Control B, bevel it. Let's add those nice things that we have on straws that are those bumpy looking things. I don't know why they add them, but they look good. So I'm just going to add some geometry around there. Edge selection mode, select this part here. Control B, add another edge loop, Then select the center edge loops. Add the center edge loops. I don't know how to check the center edge loop, so I'm just going to go with two edge loops, So we have nice in geometry. Select these parts of the edge loop GZ. Let's move it downwards a bit. I'm just going to do it again. It's not, satisfying me. I'm just going to go ahead and add this like this. Select the top part, scale it up, GZ, like that. So we have this bottom part in the upper parts. Just going to move it upwards a little. So if we shade this smooth, it will look good already, but we want some edge loops to save the mesh from deforming a lot. So I'm just going to add the subdivision modifier here, and it will look good. So select this part, Shift E to add a bevel weight, which is pushing your geometry in and out. So I'm just going to show you here item properties. I think it's in the tools options. For some reason it's not showing up. I'm just going to go with the shortcut Shift A. Oh yeah, we haven't selected everything. So if you select something and look at that menu, you find here min quiz. I have crested and we have this geometry looking like this. I don't want this to be selected. So when we apply the deformation on it, so it's going to be looking good. So I'm just going to add here and add one edge loop around here. So this part isn't subdividing a lot, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you the wireframe of this. If we add more geometry, it will look more dense, which the wireframe must be doing, but I don't know why this is not working. I'm just going to leave it. And so we got this, we have to rig it so we can move it freely. So I'm just going to add some armature around there, single bone, Shift C, Shift S, and cursor to selection to cursor. And go on to the objects properties and go to visibility, viewport display, and add this GZ and extrude it on the Z axis. So after this, you can tell a story. It's not about the character being super real Disney style or something. It have to be, the story is everything. So even with some crappy characters, I think we can make some kind of good characters and, tell our story, and it will be cool. I'm just going to scale this in the Z axis, -1, and we have one bone around there. Shift D, X, delete this bone. I'm just going to Shift D, put it there, cursor to selected, scale it in the X axis, -1. Yeah, I just did something, scale from the medium, from the 3D axis, so it's going to be, it's just going to be, scaling it from the 3D cursor. So if the 3D cursor is at the center, so we have some nice things going on. So I'm just going to mirror in the x-axis. So if I move this, it should move that one. But okay, let's mirror in the x-axis. Okay, let me show you a trick. If this works, it's cool. But leg dot L. You name your bones if they are with dot L or dot R, which is going to be a nice addition, so Blender could know which side is left and which side is right. So now if we move one part, I think it will move the other part. This is how it works. Blender is, it's not going to be mirroring it from the center axis. Now, as you see, I forget to put this back to medium point. Scale in the z-axis, -1. Rotate it, but select one part, rotate it like this. So we have nice hands to deform our geometry. So every bone must be parented to some bone. So I'm just going to parent this legs, Control P, connect, if not connected, Control P, keep offset. And as you see, as if I connect one part of the mesh, it will connect the other one automatically. So that's a nice thing to know. So I'm just going to go ahead, extrude one here, which we don't want to do. Shift D, add new bone. Shift A to add a new bone. Select that new bone you have created and add this. And just scale it, move it in the Z-axis, put it where you want it to be. Add another one there. Select the bones that you want to move and move the bone in the straw. So we have this, and let's just add another one, or just keep ourselves control click this, control click this part, Control P, and with automatic weight. Now ta-da, if we go to the pose mode, clicking the armature and rotate the parts, you see we have a nice geometry like this, which we haven't applied, comparing to the straw to the this straw, we haven't parented to this straw to the armature. I'm just going to select this and go to edit mode. As I told you, everything must be parented to the other bone. Keep offset, so we can, whenever we move this hand in the pose mode, this straw moves. Now I'm just going to put R and X. So this is not doing a good job deforming the geometry. I don't know why, but it's not doing a good job. So I'm just trying to parent it again. Control P with automatic weight. Tab to edit mode, rotate, go to pose mode, rotate it. Why this is happening? Some people cut this out from the tutorial, but I just want to show you the creative process. So I think because the subdivision modifier is above the this part, I think this should work now. If it doesn't, it must be doing something with the scale. I'm just going to select the Shift A, scale, and all transforms, and try to parent this again with automatic weight. Click this, rotate it. Why are you doing this? So I'm just going to, delete this part, or even apply this part. Delete this part, select the straw, select this, Control P with automatic weight. Now if I go to pose mode, try to deform the geometry, you see it's working, but I think it needs more geometry to work with. So Alt R, Alt V, just go to pose mode, select everything, Alt R, Alt G. I think why this is not working. Select this, go to weight paint mode. Yeah, I'll show you some weight paint tricks so we can have some fun in the weight paint. Select everything. So shift select this bone, and see how much are they affecting of this mesh. So select everything in this mesh. That is the bottom part. Select everything. Keep selecting it. I think we could just change the fall off to, hard fall off. So we have this going on, and blur the parts that the straw isn't affecting with, and shift select this pawn and disable the weight and disable everything that is selected of this pawn from the upper one, because we don't want something affecting the lower part except the straw of the upper part. F to make your brush smaller or bigger. F, make the brushes smaller. And we are having nice parts, I guess. Shift select this. Deselect the parts that are selected by the I think we could just unshow the bounds and blur these parts to have more fun. So this is like some crash course about doing this. Yours must not do this. This is, I don't know why this is happening to me, but you should not do this, I guess. Should be, nice and easy to deform with. So go ahead, bring the bones back, shift select the upper part. I think we should blur this part. So we have nice parts going on. So if I go to the weight paint and go to normal view, you see we have, if we go back to, pose mode and deform the geometry now, it should work good. That's just like simple weight painting done. So we have this. So now we just have to shade this thing. Click this, go to shading mode, not show the bones, and use the materials that is given to us by the blender when we put it. So I'm just going to show you a trick to have masks and add them together. So we want some kind of cross line going from here to here like this, a cross line, and we want everything else to be the same color. So we want some kind of mask, and that's very easy in Blender to do. We just need a texture, gradient texture. So if you enable that, go to preferences and enable node wrangler, and Control Shift click this to show this. Click here and Control T to get the mapping node and texture coordinate for more control over our geometry. So now we just can rotate this in the Z axis 90 degrees and move this backwards a little bit. I think that's the Y axis, so we need something to get more control over. So we need a converter and color one. Add it here. So if we play with the settings, we could find nice value that we can just use. So I think I have rotated it in the wrong direction. Make this 0 and check the rotation again. Yeah, this should be 90. And the location of the Y axis should start determining the parts. Let's go to higher values. Does it work? Decrease the scale. I guess scale should work. Nice and easy. Okay, now we have this. So we want more control over this. So we want only the front part and the back part to be affected. So I'm just going to add this, add another color here, and move the color to this part of the mesh. So we want another mask over here. And change the color to black. Dark black, add this. So we have this, go to constant. So we have a constant mask happening in our mesh. So I think we can use this. So now we have this mask going on, so we want something that goes like this in the mesh. So to add that, that's even fairly easy. We just rotate this a little bit and we have the diagonal mask. So I'm just going to select everything, Shift D to duplicate them, and Control Shift click on this one to see what it looks like. It looks like the same. So I'm just going to reset the color one so we have something like this. And I think we could just, play with the settings, and I'm just going to rotate this more on the, let's say, nice. Okay, we have this. Move it in the z-axis more. Rotate it more. Move it in the 40. I think 45 degrees is the value to go with. So we redo this. We have this kind of geometry, so I'm just going to rotate it again, and I think we should do something like this. Add another value and make the center part white. And ta-da, we have something that is going across our mesh. Now we just have to rotate it more on some axes to get this value we want. Let's try 0 with the z-axis and rotate the z-axis more, like this. Don't worry if it's going, off on the one side. That's just normal, I guess. Let's put this one. Okay, this is not working. Okay, put the Z1 on the one. So 90 degrees. Nice. So, and rotate this part. Okay. For some reason, this is trying to ruin my day. Add a 1. Okay, so the Z scale was off. That's why it wasn't working. I told you, don't worry if the one side is not going right for you. Just keep playing with the settings, and you will find that sweet spots on your mesh. So now we have this. We have to somehow combine these two masks we have. So I'm just going to add a Shift A and Math Node. Yes, Math Node. And you might think it's add, and I think it works somewhat like what we want, but I feel it's some kind of inverted color, so I'm just going to go and multiply this. Yeah, we multiply this, I think we have inverted the colors. So we have the white here and white here. Yeah, I think we have inverted the colors. I think let's me guess. So the white part is here, we want white part here. Yeah, we have to invert the colors. I think we can just, change the colors. Change this to white. Change this color to black. Change this color to white. And now when we multiply this, we have something like this, which is quite not the one that I want. So I'm just going to try and add this, and it works. It's cool. And we even have this nice thing going on, but if we turn on clamp, it will disable that part. So we have this mask going on, so easy. Now how to color this? It looks like the pattern we want, but how to color it? That's fairly easy to Shift A color, mix RGB color, which is not this color, mix RGB, and add the color this to the factor. So whatever we put in here is the black value. So I'm just going to go with a white value. Guess white. Let's go to white and go with green with this one. And Control Shift click here, plug this to the color, and check out the results. And that color is not good. Desaturate it, give it a hue, and go to green, disable the other channels, decrease desaturation, and I think this is good. So you think it might look crappy right now, but I promise you, when you go to cycles do the magic for you. So I'm just going to make this pure white and add the roughness like this. So we have some kind of little bit glossy on our shader. And bam, we have this. So we don't want some extra things happening to this one. I'm just going to go with more rough, shiny kind of stroke and go to layout, and we have our mesh done. So let's go to render mode and add a cycles. So Shift A, add a plane mesh. We want a plane mesh. So I guess so sorry for the delay. I was gone and I am back. So we were adding the plane, to light this thing. So we just want something, for the plane. I'm just going to add a new collection, call it environment, lighting and stuff. You can call it whatever you want. Move this to environment. So scale this up. Go to here's extrude, Control B, bevel this part. Some 3-point lighting is going to be what we are going to do. So Shift select here, add any light point length, GZ, and let's go to the light settings, enable the watt, add some watt so you see this part. So I'm just going to smooth this part on the background. I'm just going to go ahead and increase the radius so we don't have those sharp lights going on. So I'm just going to add another part here, which is the camera. Control Alt 0 here. So we have this part, and I'm just going to view, go here, view, look camera to view it from this side, and bam. So I'm just going to add another light, which will be an area lamp this time, and GZ here, move it into Shift Z. I think this is going to be from here, and this is going to be our key light. And I am just going to, for some reason it's popped up, I'm just going to use a rectangle and add something that is like this. Increase the watt. So we have some nice lighting, and RZ, move it like this, and color the background some color like green that is going to resemble our object. You might think this is a bad idea. I think it is a very good way to start doing nice adjustments. Roughness, you can make it on like a glass or something. You can make this like the start. I'm going to put it in 0.5. That looks good for me every time. So I'm just going to increase the watt of this one and render from only the render region. So we have a nice fall off around here. So I think it's a bit much around Now, I think now is good. So I'm just going to go ahead here and increase the roughness a little bit, so we don't have, it doesn't look like loss, I think. So now we are left with this. So let's go and add another light. So this is going to be the key light, which is going to fill those shadows and add some kind of okay, soft shadows. It's not pure like darkish shadow. We have the shadows, but shadows are not as hard as they were. So I think this is good. So I'm just going to look camera to view, move it a little bit upwards like this, and go to pose mode. I think this armature stuff is very not good to look at, so I'm just going to change the bone viewport display. I think not the viewport display. I'm just going to go ahead to the armature settings, viewport display, and make them sticks. Yeah. So I'm just going to be moving this little bit down. Pose mode, go to pose mode, or I'll go to look development mode to just have some fine things happening. Why is this happening to me? I'm just going to weight paint a little bit, to fix our issue here. Weight paint mode. Why are you doing this? I'm just going to shift select this, but I'm just going to go to object mode, select this, shift select this, go to weight paint mode. Here, select this part, blur it. The more you blur it, the better. I think we could just add some kind of, this part is not deformed by both meshes, so I think that's why it's giving us this funky look. So I'm just going to go ahead, blur this again. So we have a nice straw. Sorry if this part is, messing with me. I don't know why this is happening, but I'm just going to go to this mode, look at our object, make him look sad, make him look happy. You can do anything you want in this thing, RX, and move it like this in the x-axis to make him look sad. On the x-axis, rotate it like this, rotate it like this, and like this. Bam, we have a sad one. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I think you have learned some things, and now you can make your own, animation. So quick tip for you guys, you can just click this in pose mode, location, or rotation, or lock rot, and go to 20 frames later, I guess. RX, put it like this, lock rot, and when we scroll like this, our animation is playing. So you can make anything you want in this. So I hope you learned something cool. Now there you can use these characters, and if you want more characters like this, fairly simple and very effective with quick wigs, you can check the another tutorials, and don't forget to like, subscribe. Thank you guys, and peace out.